Voila, and a huge welcome to your very first lesson with us here at Access Portugal. We are so excited to have you. Whether you're already settling into your new life, just planning the move, or you've simply fallen in love with this country, you are in exactly the right place to start connecting with it on a whole new level.
So, here's our little roadmap for today. We're going to kick things off with a quick story that really gets to the heart of why you're here. Then, we'll dive into the language's incredible history, tackle those all-important differences between the Portuguese spoken in Portugal and Brazil, explore the country's accents, and map out your path to fluency so you know exactly where you're headed.
All right, let's jump in. I want you to think of this as more than just a language class. It's the start of an amazing adventure. You're not just learning words, you're unlocking a much, much richer life here in Portugal. And you know what? Sometimes it all starts with something as simple as ordering a coffee. I saw something the other day that just explains everything perfectly. I was in a pastelaria, and two other expats were ordering. One had clearly been learning Brazilian Portuguese, probably from an app. And the other, well, they were learning our way. The waiter, with this friendly little smile, knew instantly who was speaking the local language. And that tiny moment, that's why the details we're about to cover matter so much for your everyday life here. Now, the language you're learning is a global giant. I mean, it's spoken by over 260 million people around the world. That makes it the sixth most common language on the planet. But our focus, of course, is right here at the source, on the original, unique version that you'll hear on the streets of Lisbon, Porto, and everywhere in between.
You know, to really appreciate a language, it helps to know its story. And Portuguese has an incredible one. It's a story that's woven together from Roman soldiers, Moorish poets, and legendary explorers, creating this beautiful, rich linguistic tapestry that we get to speak today.
It all started over 2,000 years ago. Roman soldiers marched onto the Iberian Peninsula and they brought Latin with them. Then, fast forward a few centuries, and the Moorish influence from North Africa added hundreds of new, beautiful words to the mix. It wasn't until 1290 that King Denis officially called the language Portuguese, and from the 1500s, well, it sailed across the entire globe, creating a language empire from Brazil all the way to Macau.
And you can still hear that history today, especially on your dinner plate. Seriously, the next time you see alface for lettuce or azeitona for olive on a menu, you're actually using one of almost 1,000 words that have Arabic roots. It's this amazing cultural blend you can literally taste. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, let's talk about what is probably the single most important reason you're in this course. So many apps and online programs teach Brazilian Portuguese by default. And look, while it is technically the same language, the differences are huge, big enough to cause some real confusion and, honestly, to immediately mark you as an outsider.
The biggest giveaway is the sound. It's all in the music of the language. European Portuguese is more closed, it's more flowing. We tend to kind of swallow our vowels. Just think of the soulful, melodic sound of fado music. Brazilian Portuguese, on the other hand, is wide open, it's sung. Every single syllable is bright and clear. Think of the rhythm of samba. Two totally different feelings. And then you've got the words themselves, the vocabulary you'll use every single day. Here in Portugal, you take a comboio, not a train. You get on the autocarro, not the ônibus. Sure, people will probably figure out what you mean, but using the local words, that's a massive step towards actually fitting in and feeling like you belong.
Grammar also gives us some dead giveaways. In Portugal, we use the informal you, tu, all the time with friends and family. But the number one signal, it's how we say, I am doing. We say, estou a fazer, which literally translates to, I am to do. In Brazil, you'll hear estou fazendo, I am doing. It's a tiny difference that is a massive, instant sign of where you learned your Portuguese.
Now, what's really fascinating is that even within this small country, the language changes as you travel around. You'll hear the melody of the language shift as you go from the north to the south. But don't you worry, the standard Lisbon accent that we teach here is the key that unlocks all of them.
For instance, if you go up north to Porto, you'll often hear the V sound pronounced more like a B, so vinho might sound like binho. The Lisbon accent is what's considered standard, what you'll hear on the news.
And then, if you go to the islands, the Azores and Madeira, you'll find these incredible, unique accents. It's a rich landscape, and we're going to give you the map to navigate it.
So, how exactly are we going to get you there? Well, we structure everything around something called the CEFR, which stands for the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. But don't worry about the long name. The best way to think of it is just as a clear, simple roadmap with defined stops along your way to fluency. Right now, you're starting here, at A1. This is where you master all those crucial daily tasks, like ordering that coffee or asking for directions. From there, you'll work your way to B1. That's the level where most expats say they finally start to feel really comfortable in their daily lives. And then there's B2, and this one's a big deal. It's the level you need to achieve if you're seeking Portuguese citizenship. So this isn't just about learning. It's a path that is tied directly to your real-life goals here.
As you learn, you're going to come across words that are so much more than just vocabulary. They're like little windows into the culture. And the most famous of all is saudade. It's this deep, almost bittersweet feeling of longing for a person, a place, or a feeling that you miss desperately. It's a uniquely Portuguese feeling, and when you start to grasp what it means, you get one step closer to really understanding the Portuguese soul.
So, let's wrap this up. I want you to always remember why you're doing this. This is not some boring academic exercise. Learning this language the right way is your key to genuine integration, to building real friendships, and to making Portugal feel less like a place you're just living in and more like home.
I want to leave you with a piece of Portuguese wisdom that I think is just perfect for anyone learning a language. Devagar se vai ao longe. It means slowly, one goes far. Just remember that. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So be patient with yourself, celebrate all the little wins along the way, and just trust the process.
You've already taken the hardest step of all. You started. You're here. You're on your way. So are you ready for what's next? Because in Lesson 1.2, we're diving straight into the alphabet, and we'll start making all those unique Portuguese sounds.